How's that? Is that good?
Good morning, everybody. Coast to coast and around the world on the World Wide Web. Scott Buckley here with my companion,
Deb Wilkin.
And we're going to bring you the draw between the Northwest Territories and Alberta on the ladies' side for the Travelers Canadian Championship this morning.
Good morning, everyone. We will be commentating on the game on Ice 3, which is between Northwest Territories and Alberta. The Northwest Territories team is skipped by Stacey Stauble. Her third is Krista Wesley. Her second is Jill Andrews, and her lead is Allie Whitehead. Representing Alberta this morning, the skip is Nanette DuPont. Her third is Samantha Davies. Her second is Kendra Nakagama, and her lead is Avis DeKelver. We wish both teams the best of luck this morning, and we'll give you our commentation as they're going through the game. It looks like Alberta has first rock in this end, which means Northwest Territories will have last rock.
So the Alberta team I was speaking with downstairs, and during the first end we'll provide some shout outs to some of their supporters and friends and family. But this is actually game number one for Team Alberta. They had the bye in the first round of ladies curling yesterday.
Okay.
So, and here we go with the first stone of the end.
Line's good.
We're going tight.
Tighter in.
I think we're good.
So as Deb mentioned, Avis is the lead, and she's a chartered accountant at BDO, and she wanted to give a shout out to the entire town of Redcliffe and all the supporters they have there. And that looks like a perfect shot right to the top of the button. Wouldn't you say, Deb?
Yes, yes.
Just forward.
Northwest Territories will try and remove this stone.
It's like a nice control weight takeout shot from Allie Whitehead, and she's a respiratory therapist at the hospital in Yellowknife, and she wanted to give a shout out to Kate and Chloe, her daughters, and they're watching with her husband Mark back home in Yellowknife.
That was a nice takeout with controlled weight.
Whoa!
Alberta will now try and take out the Northwest Territories stone.
So I expect we'll see a fairly straightforward and clean end by the looks of it so far, Deb.
Yes,
Just teams get a little bit of sense for the ice more and get rid of some of the first end jitters, I suppose.
Yes.
Funny thing happened in provincials or territorial playdowns for Allie. She actually, in the first practice of the event, broke her right ankle.
Oh my!
So they had to actually dip into the spare pool, and they wanted to give a shout out to the super spare, Coralie Round, who actually helped this team make it through and qualify to represent Northwest Territories.
Oh, that's excellent.
They're very grateful, Coralie, if you're watching at home. But that's pretty unfortunate.
It is.
Have that happen in the first practice.
Another nice takeout by the Alberta team with a bit of a roll into the 4-foot.
That stone was delivered by Kendra Nakagama, and she's actually general manager at a grocery store of the family name, Nakagama Grocery, and she wanted to say hi to her dad, Ken. And the store has actually been going for 70 years in the town of Lethbridge. And this is the first stone for the second Jill Andrews, and she's actually the Crown Prosecutor in Yellowknife, and somebody I guess you don't want to see on the other side of the bench. She's wanting to say hi to her children, Aubrey and Kaylee, and apparently they're watching before school at 7 a.m. With Grandma and Pa, so she wanted to give a shout out to the girls, Aubrey and Kaylee. Kender with another takeout here.
It's good.
I guess in a way it's nice to have a straightforward end like this. We don't have to talk much about strategy. It's a good way to introduce the teams, what they do, and then hopefully next end we'll get into a little bit more of an
Stones
end.
in play.
Yeah. You know, there's no doubt that the change from the 3-rock to the 4-rock and now maybe going to a 5-rock at some point
yes,
has added something to the fans' enjoyment of the game. Some of the purists in the sport maybe think that we've lost a little something along the way, but there's no doubt it makes for more interesting television.
Well, it certainly does. Yes, you're right, Scott.
You know, the old days of games being won 2-1 or 1-0, some of them going 12 ends is
having an afternoon nap while you were watching the Brier.
Must have felt like watching some of those day-long cricket matches, I suppose, when there was all this up and down, up and down. Well, that's a nice roll. Maybe it's going to stick around.
Very nice. And I'm not sure. It may still be biting. It's hard to tell from this angle.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this end, they may measure that one to see if it is biting and counting.
And this, the first stone for third, Krista Wesley, and she's an X-ray technician at the Yellowknife Hospital.
What do you got?
She wanted to say hello to Audrey, her child, and Jason, her husband, back home.
No, never.
This one looks like it needs to curl and slow down.
Yeah, she may be by this one.
Okay.
Worth a try, though, especially if the rock's out of the rings, just to use it. Alberta's kind of splitting the house, so it makes you wonder if maybe they don't think that it's possibly nibbling or biting just a little bit. It's pretty much impossible to tell from here, but I don't know. I have a feeling if it was biting, the team would probably hit it.
You would think, yes.
So the stone from Alberta here, delivered
slow down a
by
little
Samantha,
bit out here.
and she actually is an owner-operator of a daycare home, and she wanted to say hello to her grandma Flo in Medicine Hat, and also her Aunt Jenny, who so badly wanted to be here, but were unable to make the trip, and also wanted to thank all the supporters back home.
Do you want this?
Northwest Territories is calling for a takeout of this Alberta stone.
Whoa! Clean! Clean! Yep! Just clean! Whoa! Just
This rock seems to be running fairly straight here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
May roll out, in fact.
Okay.
And it did.
Again, putting a rock over to the wings is the call here by the
Yeah, we talked about throwing an 8, but I threw a 7.
And she's actually the manager at the Lethbridge Curling Club. So we joked earlier, she's got plenty of time to practice on her coffee breaks while at work, I suppose. And she wanted to say hello to her grandchildren, Fisher, Vinny, and Sophia. And they're all watching in Tabor, Alberta. So they may have to head out for school soon as well, but they're probably watching a little bit before they go. So taking ice just off center here, and we should expect to see at least 3 feet of curl. Looks like it's
looks like good weight.
All you guys, it's got to be here.
nice way to start your Travelers Championship with an easy draw to an open house to the wing.
Yes. I'm sure it'll get more complicated as we go on this morning.
Yours and ours are.
Okay.
Yeah. It's here. Here. It's here. It's all over. It's happening. It's happening.
And Stacy coming down to deliver her first stone of this end in game. She's an administrator for the Department of Justice, currently on a temporary leave. And also wanted to thank everybody back home, her children Morgan and Grady, and her husband Tyson. And they all curl out of the Yellowknife Curling Club.
No.
Oddly enough, I've actually been there myself for curling
Oh,
down.
have you?
Yes,
Good.
it was 20 years ago, so I understand from the ladies that that must have been soon after the club was
Opened.
and
Watch your roll,
wonderful
Allie.
8-sheet facility. I was there for a
Good job.
National Service Club play down representing Ontario, and it was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
You don't get a lot of excuses sometimes to go to the north like that, so
No.
I jumped right on the opportunity.
Nice, yeah.
Well, there's a nice hit there, little roll back to center, and I expect we'll see a takeout
The other way
from
is
the
pretty
skip.
straight.
Nanette.
Nanette, that's right.
Okay.
Maybe just a bit more. You're through like a 12. Go up to the board. Go above 14.
Another nice crowd this morning, it looks like, showing up early to the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club,
Yep.
the host venue
Right up.
for this year's Travelers Canadian Championships. Club's also celebrating their 100th anniversary this year, so it's been quite a
Never
wonderful
off,
club.
girls.
Yes.
Right up, Avis. Right up, Avis. Right up, Avis.
Perfect nose hit.
Stick it. Same thing, type side. Yeah, just a little bit more there.
Well, they're not even taking another look at that rock on the edge, although Alberta's hopefully glancing, saying, do we have at least a piece of the paint? I expect we'll see a blank attempt here, and
We just got to stick.
And if there is a blank, then Northwest Territories will maintain the last rock.
I wonder if they're sure enough to throw the bite measure on this at the end of the end. I know they've looked at it a few times, but I think the rings are pretty close here. They knew this championship was coming, so. Will Middleton, the ice maker here at Cataraqui Golf and Country Club, has done a great job, and this team brought in some help, I understand, from some
Just clean.
local clubs.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Go.
Now,
Yeah,
if they're trying to
yeah.
blank here, I don't know. I think this
that
is
it's-
not going to
Stay
roll
sweet,
out.
Stacey.
No. Well, then maybe that's a signal
Yes,
they weren't
ma'am.
sure that was off the rings or not.
Yeah. Good job.
So Northwest Territories now has 1 point.
So you said you guys have been curling together for a long time?
About 3 years now.
Yeah. Someone told us a long time. So.
Well, these two on the side have been curling together for 20 years, but
Or second and third.
yeah.
The lead, the lead is Allie Whitehead for Northwest Territories. She will be
This is
throwing
all
the
right.
first rock.
Up front, this is okay.
Tighter in, yeah.
Well, if people back home didn't notice on their screen, the ice has been a very good speed. So we'll give a little bit of feedback to everybody on times here with the rocks.
97. Tight for sure.
If anybody times hog line to
Yep.
back line for
Tight for
splits,
sure.
that was a 390. So
Tight.
between the hog lines, it's running
Top 8.
14 to 15 for sure.
Just to
overall.
here. Yeah, cable then. It's in.
This being only
Then
the
go
second
fully
end, this
then.
one's
Go, go, go.
drifting right in. Probably put it on the top of the 4-foot.
That's good. Sweet, Allie. Good judge, guys.
You know, the second end draw is one of the hardest shots in curling, actually, I find,
Yes.
because depending what path you end up on, the ice
It's
could
either
be-
going to go right through or be out front.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So we have another control weight takeout here being delivered. It looks like should end up
Whoa.
hitting a little bit of a roll. Oh, right on the nose.
Forward. Just forward.
The skip, Stacy Staubel, is calling for another takeout.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she cranked it. Yeah.
Where they're really working the brushes on this one, it is really curling away from the line.
Okay,
I
you're
don't
fine.
know.
Okay.
She may have gone by
Okay.
it.
Yep.
Yes, she has.
Okay.
Just maybe a hair down on the weight or just a little bit tight to
buddy.
the broom on that one. So
Well, that speaks to your point, Scott, about the second end being, difficult to call it.
yeah, actually, I don't think in the first end we had too many rocks that were delivered
Yeah.
right down center.
No.
It didn't seem like on that side of the ice, so she may have caught some of the fresh pebble and it just got curling a little bit more than they expected. So we'll see a draw here to the wing and Alberta's attempt to lie to, and great stone delivered here
Pretty
by
good.
Avis.
14:33.
So top 8, back 8 for Team Alberta. Looks like the call here is just to hit and maybe flop a little bit to the right-hand side in front of the stone back 8 for Northwest Territories.
Yeah! Yeah! Hard. Yeah! Hard, hard, hard! Hard! All the way, all the way, all the way!
Trying to...
All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Anything,
Well,
Krista,
there we
goes
go.
hard.
We've got some nose, it looks
Okay.
like. I think they were
That
hoping
was a
for
nice
little roll.
shot.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a good shot. It's always difficult sometimes after you're going down the same path, same shot as someone else, and their rock curled too much. It's hard to resist the temptation to maybe throw a little extra weight so you don't have the same result.
Weight down! Yep!
Kendra delivering the hit here, and
Whoa, whoa!
this one needs to maybe curl a hair or they're going to roll more in front of their other rock.
And that's a nice shot.
Yeah, it may make a run at the double a little easier for the Northwest Territories here. I have a feeling if they could have, they might have chose to roll the other way to keep the rocks a little separated. Inside out hit attempt here.
Control! Close, clean! Whoa!
Jill's delivered this with
Whoa, whoa!
decent control weight.
We're just here. Whoa, whoa,
Needs to
whoa, whoa.
curl,
whoa.
I think.
No, we're on the top. Okay.
Got rid of the one anyway.
Is that 2? That was 2. Just wide, or was she okay?
She was just firmer than I was expecting.
Alberta's trying to split the house here with a rock on the other side now.
9.
The team with the hammer or last rock usually likes to keep the
Watch it.
center open so the skip
Whoa.
can make a lovely draw.
No, it's all there.
Yeah.
All there.
Needs to slow down a little.
Keen right up. Hard, hard, hard. Stay hard.
What are you getting
Hard,
on?
stay.
That was 13-4.
Okay, it stopped. Back of the house. Alberta's lying 2, fairly well separated,
Okay.
relatively even.
Yep! Yep!
The call is for a takeout here.
Hard! 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 Right up! Right up! Right up! Right up! Right up!
Sweeping
the wall.
hard to keep the nose.
Okay.
And they lie
Sweep
shot.
Good shot. Northwest Territories now has shot rock, and Alberta will attempt to take that out.
Nice smooth control weight shot here. Maybe it's a hair heavier than they
No.
thought. Needs to curl some. Sweeping for curl. Like we're getting roll.
And it's going out of play.
Takes a little bit of the pressure off there for the Northwest Territories. They'll try to clean things up here, and I guess we'll possibly end up with a very straightforward end after
Yes.
all.
Whoa. Yep.
Clean it.
Yep.
Clean it.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep. Yes.
Might be starting to catch some curl. They're
Hard. Yep. Right up. Right up. Right
enough of it to get it out. So roll there. Try. There we go.
Good job, guys.
Back 8.
Good throw. Good throws. Surprised I can see. Look at all the water in my eyes right there. You just have like a big drop. I can't wait till my stint's out. Will that help? Yeah, Jill thought it was
Whoa.
nice. Yeah. Well, I did to her. I'm like gonna make sure.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And hers are curling more than ours, so that's why it looked tight. Try and move it over that way if we can, but make sure we stay in. First one.
Northwest Territories is again trying a takeout for this shot, and they would like to roll one way or the other so that Alberta doesn't have exactly the same shot.
Oh shit, I don't have my other broom. Let's be down there. Yeah, control.
Control weight takeout and attempt to mix up the line a little bit here, and as you said, just roll a little bit one side to the other, and definitely stay in the rings.
Yes.
Danger, of course, if you don't stay in the rings, is you'll probably be firing your next takeout at something way out on the weeds, the edge of the 12. And well, as a skip myself, you're never really
Those
100%
are the toughest
sure.
shots, yes, they sure are.
Watch the roll, Joe.
That was a nose hit,
Excellent,
so
yeah. Not much of a roll, but at least she is still in the rings.
It might curl once if it gets to the line, but not much before that.
I think it's just the way she throws it. Yeah. So I'm always going to give her both. Yeah.
You can hear the teams observing how the other players throw their stones to judge the proper ice read. One of the things when you're watching another team deliver is not everyone delivers the same. So you
No,
have
that's
to
right.
evaluate what you see in the release or the line of delivery and kind of compensate that for your own weight calls and line calls. Straightforward takeout here.
Whoa! Yes! Right up!
Nice control weight.
Yes, it is. Very nice.
Other turn. Yeah.
So anybody tuning in late might wonder if we're actually playing a free rock game here, but of course we are. Just
4 rock?
Yeah, four rock, free rock zone. And just a couple of straightforward ends to get started here. And that's not uncommon at this level.
Especially the first couple of ends, as you noted, Scott.
This side will curl a bit more. So
Just a quick update for our
If she
viewers
calls you
on
on,
sheet
just keep
1.
them
We've
down
got
to clean
BC
'cause it'll
over
probably come back
Saskatchewan
on real
after the
quick
first
if she
end.
calls you
It's 2-0 for BC over Saskatchewan on the ladies' side. And then next door, it's another Saskatchewan-BC matchup for the men, and it's 1-0 for Saskatchewan after the first end on the men's side on sheet 2.
Yep, hard.
Deb, I'll let you go over if you want. Looks like...
Sheet 4,
Yep.
we have,
Okay, watch the roll.
is that Alberta? It's tough for me to see.
Oh,
Alberta
Good shot.
versus
There it is.
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick.
I don't think so
Yes,
either.
and Alberta
Yep.
is leading that game 5-0.
Meanwhile,
And-
here on our sheet, it was a nice hit and roll to lie at the back of the rings for Northwest Territories, so we'll look for probably a blank, I think.
Yes, I
and
think that's what they're trying.
it's Alberta's call.
Again, if Alberta can successfully take this stone out and roll out themselves, they will retain the hammer for the next end. And that's always an advantage for those who are watching us who may be new to curling. We always like to have the hammer. It does give us the control.
So this looks like a nice takeout delivery here, and team's just dusting it. Just need to see what kind of roll we get.
Whoa!
Oh, I think we may have a stick. Oh, no, it's
Oh.
good. Good. Great
Excellent
flank.
shot.
Yes. Good. So over on sheet 5, we actually have Northern Ontario versus Nunavut on the ladies' side, and it's 1-0 for Northern Ontario. And down on sheet 6, we actually have Newfoundland over Nunavut 3-2 3-0 after the first end on the men's side. So that should bring everybody up to date at home.
So tighter in. Tighter in.
Live scoring's available also on the website, so that's probably up to date almost before we read out those first end scores,
Yes.
I'm sure. Great team of volunteers here at the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club. About 150 or more to run an event like this, and I know that the sponsors, Travelers Canada, wanted to thank all of the volunteers that make this happen.
We'd also like to thank our local sponsors. In the Platinum category, we have Print Fusion, Bathworks, and Kingston 150. In the Gold category, we have Shorelines Casino, BMW Kingston, J.E. Agnew Food Services, Kingston Dodge, and Petrie Ford. In the Silver category, we have the Kingston Brewing Company and Hallway and Hutchison Insurance Brokers. We really would like to thank all of these corporations for helping with this event. It cannot happen without strong sponsorship, as most people realize when you're trying to do anything like this.
So Alberta's going to throw, I believe, a corner here after the Northwest Territories stone went heavy and through the house. So free chance for Alberta to attempt to force a bit of an issue with hammer in hand and try to force play to the wings. Now Northwest Territories is going to counter here with a tight center guard is the call, and we'll see how the adjustments are made here for
Line's
Ali.
good. 93. Probably T-line, top 8. Whoa.
I've often found N3 and 4 are
Where are ya?
when the ice is off in the keenness.
go.
Yes,
It's,
yes.
You break it down a little bit and you get up to speed, and
Whoa.
I think the indication from the sweepers is this
Krista.
one may be in, so they
Just
may
here.
actually try to.
Whoa.
They're trying to get around the
Got a piece.
Alberta stone,
That's all right. That's good.
try and get it buried.
Shot, Allie. Shot, Allie.
Well, it's perfect tee line, but fully open for Alberta here.
A little bit.
They'll try to obviously take this out, and
Yep.
not sure with this weight if they're going to be trying to roll underneath the guard or not. I think
Whoa. Whoa.
so. They, yeah.
Oh, nice shot. Very nice.
Gives an
Ideally, they would have liked that stone to roll a little more behind the guard, but
Well, I think now there's a real opportunity for the Territories here, and second Jill to get a hit on this stone and possibly tuck it in underneath that Alberta guard. We'll see what the weight is here. Nice board weight.
Clean.
Looking to control this with the brushes, and
Yo. Yo.
nice key, nice board weight's a great way to make a lot of shots. This one looks good.
Hard.
They can keep it from.
Hard.
They've got it by. Now it's just the roll.
Nice shot.
Yes,
Nice shot, Jill.
that's
Good
excellent.
sweep, guys.
Excellent shot by Jill and the team from Yellowknife Curling Club.
Do you want this way?
All right,
Well,
let
that's
me
the
count,
tough part when you're going around the corner like that. I
Yes,
mean, it's
yeah.
only 3 feet, relatively straight run back here to eliminate that beautiful hit and roll by the team from Yellowknife.
and the second Kendra has just delivered her stone.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Looks like nice weight. Yes, beautiful.
Perfect, right on the nose.
You got any?
How much is it?
Well, I can tell you from up here, it doesn't look like an awful lot coming from the outside in to attempt to make a play on shot stone.
No.
Control.
I think this is probably the best call to. I think we're looking at an attempted double on the yellows and maybe a roll into the rings here. The weight call was control. And
Control. Whoa. Whoa.
Jill's delivered that stone. It does need to curl.
Down. No.
Got anything?
Nothing yet. No.
No, the ice is a little weight
Okay.
sensitive, I think.
Yes.
These stones are new within the last
Just
couple of years,
straightened
but you bring the weight up closer to control and
It
they
doesn't
can
curl
run
as
on you.
much.
Still thinking a 9, hey?
Well, it's unfortunate. So now Alberta sees an opportunity here to
draw in to the other side. If Alberta's successful, that means that they would be sitting 2, and right now we have a nice open pathway to the 4-foot.
No, 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 no. That's tons. 1322.
Pardon me?
1322.
This one looks
Kendra is,
a bit.
hoping this one slows down a little. Skip
it's
Stacy's
still
worked
in,
that pretty
yes.
hard to the back, yeah. Yeah, the Northwest Territories has to be a little careful here. This end isn't going the way they'd like to see
No.
it at all, and there's no center guard for them, and they're forced into, I believe, playing a hit. I think they're going to be super aggressive and try a freeze here, but certainly hitting this stone. It's a good call. They hit this, and if they get a miss or roll out from Alberta, then they can go after the front stone, short stone. That unfortunately rolled out.
Alberta will try again to put a rock on the other side of the house.
All right, slow and steady.
You can overhear on the mics. We again have the Vice and Skip mic'd up, but you can gauge some of the commentary between the players. You know, a great front end will often make very positive comments to the person throwing the stone, and that makes a big difference. I can tell you from experience.
Yes, it certainly does. If you miss a shot, you never do that on purpose, so
Very nice.
positive comments are always welcome.
All right, the call here is to make the hit on shot stone on the tee line here and attempt to roll a little bit back towards center. I think Northwest Territories would like to see these rocks get a little bit more grouped and possibly have some chance at a double later on in the end. Now they're on the brushes on this one. It seems to be curling. I think they've got at least
They have
nose.
it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good throw, Krista. Good team, guys.
Well, they
Good job.
lie shot now, so this forces Alberta to hit and stick.
Crying away. Crying away. All right.
Just a quick update from some of the other games. We're on sheet 6 with Newfoundland men versus Nunavut on the men's side. It's now 3 more points in the second end for Newfoundland to make the game 6-0.
No, 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 no.
2 more points for Northern Ontario ladies against Nunavut, so now it's 3-0. And on our sheet, that's a nice hit and a roll. But I have a feeling they may
One of those in-betweeners.
not want it to roll to that particular position now.
Try and get under.
So again,
Control. Okay.
Northwest Territories and Stacy
don't
here,
come
if she
across
can
the
make
line
this
a little
hit
bit.
and
Yeah.
roll
As long as
somewhat
we get it,
protected,
it's
that
different
may
shot.
force
Even
Alberta
if we
into
only,
a more difficult
even if we
shot.
only bury half. Yep. Yep.
It's not coming up.
Hey, overheard Stacy and the Vice discussing if they only bury half, in some ways that's
Just control. Try
almost a
and roll
better
your way.
shot. If you fully
Even if we
bury, of
only
course, the
bury
other team
half,
has no choice but to come
Try
down
and
and
stick
try a
for shot.
freeze
We
or
need
something.
full 8 for shot. So if we can
A
get
half
it
buried
behind,
shot
that's
might
great.
tempt Alberta into some form of a soft hit, and
And you can always miss
Link
those.
touch more.
you
Sorry.
can.
Yeah.
A lot of newer fans to curling might not understand that sometimes it's not what you make, but it's what you leave for the other team. And the idea is to force that other team to make as difficult a shots as you possibly can. Now this one needs to curl, or it may in
Well,
fact
we only
roll
got a
right
piece.
out.
It's rolling out. So, yep. Go, Allie. Watch the roll.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
good
gonna
stop.
sit.
Good job.
Nice roll.
Nice shot, Stace.
Changes the shot
All right,
for
what
the
you been
next
throwing?
team, which is always one of our goals.
Another quick update next door to us on sheet 4, the Alberta men versus New Brunswick. Alberta has stolen 2 in the second end to make that score 7-0 at the moment for Alberta on the men's side.
And then on sheet 2, British Columbia versus Saskatchewan men. The score is now 2 for British Columbia, 1 for Saskatchewan. And on sheet 1, we have Saskatchewan versus BC ladies, and Saskatchewan is leading 3-2. Some very close games going on.
Yep.
Yep.
Now here we have the control weight hit here, and they would want to probably just stick this
Right
on
up.
the nose, not complicate anything too much, and it looks like it's going to be just perfect.
Excellent
Solid shot from the net.
See as far as we can roll.
Yeah.
Right beside it, I think.
You know, this is
One out here?
this is a little tricky
come
here
off?
as a skip. You obviously want to
I don't think so.
get rid of the
You should do the
stone,
other turn, but
maybe make
You
a
like
nice
the other
roll.
turn
But
better?
the danger here would
No,
be if
okay.
you actually rolled out. I don't know, but there may be a split opportunity for Alberta if that happened to possibly count 3. So I don't think you want to risk losing your shooter here if you're Northwest Territories.
keep it in the 8-foot though.
I think that guard stone of Alberta is not too far in front of the
No,
house, and looks to
exactly.
me like maybe you could play it on the inside and possibly split it on. But
Close, yeah.
well, if she sticks around here, I don't think we'll have to worry too much about this. It looks like it's going to be fine.
Sorry, I
It needs
thought
to
it was
curl
gonna
some,
curl.
but we've got a nose hit,
My
looks
bad.
like.
Sorry,
Looks
Steve. My
good.
bad.
So
Alberta will try and take that out and attempt to score 2 for this end.
she just made this shot pretty smoothly, so that's always comforting when you get to do an instant replay as a skip, and just yourself to throw the same weight and hit the broom and let the sweepers take care of the rest of it. Just setting herself, taking some time here.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, this one looks like it needs to curl, but
Clean. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
she's throwing nice weight, so I don't think there's any danger here. It's a solid shot from the
yellow.
net to skip for Alberta, and
Two yellow.
it's 2 points for Alberta.
So it's now Alberta 2, Northwest Territories 1. And you'll notice that the hammer goes back to the Northwest Territories. Alberta will be shooting first.
You know, that is an example of how the corner guard really worked for Team Alberta that end. You know,
yes,
they had
yes. Good point.
good fortune early in the end to have got the play set over to the side, and obviously when you don't have the hammer, you want to have that middle guarded up and be coming around. So expect Alberta may try
Just
to
tight.
put a little pressure on here and throw a tight center guard. And try to keep the momentum going after that
Just
nice
tight.
deuce in the second end.
Looks like it has nice weight. It's coming in.
Yep.
That's an excellent center guard.
Go, 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 go.
Obviously, there's several ways teams try to combat this center guard. Is well, as we know, a relatively famous ladies team, Team Homan, and the famous Weagle shot. Well, later stages of a game, they would tick that over 9 times out of 10. But this early in the end, I think what the mission for Northwest Territories and Stacy here
Yeah,
is to
Try and draw in behind.
get around that. Not too deep though. Worst thing to do is be too good too early.
What do you got?
I think somewhere around top 4, just biting
Yep.
top 4 is
Yep.
where you want to be. This one needs to curl
Yep.
though.
Yep, yeah, it's going sideways, so go, go, go. Yep.
Weight's
It's
close.
curling nicely.
Go, go, guys.
Some really good finish
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Good sweep, guys. Good judge.
Now, because it's in the rings, it means that Alberta can attempt to take it out.
Yep.
If it was in
Hard.
front of the rings, they wouldn't be able to
Really
do that
hard.
with this shot.
Hard, hard, hard.
They've got to
All
go
right.
on this one. They may have peeled their own center here, which clearly will not be what was intended, but now Northwest Territories has a decision to make, and they're going to split the house.
Yeah, maybe just a smidge more, but it's good.
You know, that's a benefit too on that first shot come around for Northwest Territories. Is make sure you take enough ice, because if you come around, even if you're only half tucked or a corner tucked, you might get a result like that, force an error out of the other team, and have a chance now to
house if you can, guys.
split the house here and
go hard.
put a little pressure back on Alberta.
Maybe Tubby.
And it's one that can be bumped up later on,
keep going.
too.
Back here. Oh, you want that? Yeah, back here. Good sweep, guys. Nice shot, Allie.
So Stacy wanted that rock a little bit deeper in the house. She didn't want to make anything easy in terms of any kind of a double attempt or possible use for a freeze later. So we're just seeing a hit on the front stone here from Alberta, from Kendra. Pressure sweeping this one. Just biting the center, top 12.
Great, Jill.
Territories is going to try and draw in behind again.
Yeah, okay. Well, Allie's were like 90s, so I don't know if that helps you.
Taking a solid bit of ice here, right on the edge of the 8 foot.
Okay.
Oh, indication for the sweepers. This might be a little bit deep.
Whoa. It's coming down, but it's still back house. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, this one could be
whoa,
right
baby.
through.
Right through the house, yes, it looks that way.
Okay, Joe.
Well, that's unfortunate, and now Alberta will look to hit and stick and lie 2 here. It's hard to resist the temptation when you get that extra ice call to not add just a touch more weight in case there's any frost out in the edges a little. And unfortunately, that one just a little too heavy. So we've got a hit coming here from Kendra.
Right up.
As the end is shaping up, it may mean that Alberta will be forcing the Northwest Territories to take one. When you have the hammer, the strategy is always to try and get 2 points.
However, that didn't work out very well for Alberta there.
No.
The hit and the roll out now throws the ball back, and Stacy scored here in Team Northwest Territories. So they're again calling for the come around here, which some teams might prefer to do something different with that rock biting.
Lots of room.
Best case scenario, you come around top 4, the other team has a 2-foot run back. So you're trying to force the issue with not the best of guards. I mean, that's the other team's stone out there, but this is the call, and well thrown stone here from
looks like
Jill.
It has nice weight.
Oh, you're rattling.
Just biting.
It's good.
Yeah, Alberta, I'd like to hit this and
roll in behind.
Yeah, roll under or jiggle those stones around a little bit.
Whoa! Yes, yes. Whoa! Whoa! Yep!
This one here might roll a bit too far, just depending. Oh, look at that. Nice shot.
Rolled out onto the other side, which makes it a relatively easy hit for the Territories.
It would have been good if we could have been sweeping it the whole time.
Tough for the front end sometimes. Often the skip and the thrower will not agree on the line call. I know the fellas on my team would appreciate that comment. But you know, I think sometimes the team has to make a decision. And sometimes it comes down to who's yelling the loudest and who believes the most in what they're calling for. But you know, it's a real communication game at this level. Everyone has to talk about the weight and the line. We're sweeping this one hard here. Trying to get a roll under.
Okay, sorry,
the rule of thumb is to listen to the person in the house, but that doesn't always apply if you have a skip who has another thought.
So over on sheet 6, we have an update from the third end there. It looks like the men's side, Nunavut's on the board with a single in the third, so it's now 6-1, Newfoundland over Nunavut. And we'll try to keep everybody as up to date as we can.
Whoa.
Another, I guess, third end update from sheet 2.
Go, 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 go.
We have a single for BC in the third end, so now it's 3-1 BC over Saskatchewan on the men's side, and I think that's about all the updates we have for now.
Yes.
It's just normal, guys.
So we're going to try a run back normal weight hit here. This one looks to...
Yep.
Now it's starting to come.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
that
Just
surprised
missed it.
them. Yeah. Initially, the thought was get off it, stay off it. It's not going to come over, and then about halfway down, the rock
Started to
to
curl.
curl. And curl just a hair too
Don't
much.
come
That
this way yet on this
almost
side.
a nice double there.
Should be good, eh?
I
Again,
think that's
Alberta will
nice ice.
just hit and
Little
try
flop
to
in.
keep one in the rings to lie to.
So,
Not a big roll, hey, just a flop.
I
not
don't think
bad?
yeah.
Okay,
I want to be in.
absolutely.
I agree. You want to be biting and be in the house, but I think the worst thing to do is to roll too much and group these yellow stones
Yes,
together.
yes. Would create a
This way.
fairly easy double.
Little bit. This should be good.
All of these players, some of that I spoke to before the game, they all thank everybody back home, the support system, family, friends. Many of them have families they've left behind, so somebody's somebody's picked up there and made it possible for these guys and ladies to come and focus on the
Right
curling.
up.
And this national championship sponsored by Travelers Canada.
Yes.
This rock here seems to
Hard, Davis.
have what they want, and it's going to roll. Just a little nibble, I believe.
Is it in?
It's hard to tell from up here, Scott, whether that is on.
I know the territories didn't really even look at it, but I don't know. The guys on TSN have it easy. They have those cameras that go right over top of the stones all the time. So from
Our
my-
vantage point, yes, isn't quite the same.
No, I'm looking down from quite an angle behind the house here, and I can definitely see daylight between that rock and the rings. But my suspicion is if you were straight over it, it may in fact be biting on the top left 12. In any event, we've got a hit and stick call here, I believe, for Stacy and the Territories team. Nice smooth delivery.
Close. Clean it.
You know, if she could make this hit and roll underneath, but boy, this rock needs to curl.
It sure does.
Watch that.
Oh,
Oh.
they've got enough. I believe they've got enough, but it's sticking.
No, it's not out.
That's tough.
Sorry, guys.
Top 8,
I didn't
okay?
think of it all.
Which
Turn to you
Maybe
like
just a
one.
hair
Davis through
too
this.
much weight, and it tracked a little straight on them.
I think so.
So now she's got to forget about that
14
as
and
a
a
skip
half
for
for weight, I
Territories
think.
and probably prepare herself for making a draw to
Draw,
the forefoot
exactly.
here, because Alberta's certainly going to attempt to lie too, and in fact, if that rock's biting, then this will make the third stone that they're lying. So,
Yeah.
you know, shot's over. You got to forget about it and move on and start thinking about what you're going to have left with your last stone of the end.
What do you think? Is it a like a?
Well played in by Team Alberta here. I mean,
You
they
think so? That much?
they also had a miss here or there, but they managed to
Okay. Okay.
make life difficult for the team from the Territories, it
My
looks like.
best.
Again, this is a bit of a pressure shot, though, for the Alberta
Yes.
skip. I mean, you've got to give this one to the sweepers and let them do what they're here to do, which is sweep. And
Line's great.
initially, they look fairly happy with that.
Just top 8, girls.
As a skip, you like it when your sweepers are on and off a stone. That means they believe it's close as well, but it's not a
Right
lot
up,
of
you got
fun
it.
if you let it go and
You're good?
they go,
Okay.
uh-oh.
That's
That
an
one's
excellent
perfect,
shot.
yeah.
This leaves the Territories
Right
with
beside it.
Not bad.
trying to take this out
14-9.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Score only one.
You know, I think they were actually hoping on the Alberta side that stone maybe would have been about a foot shorter, and then you basically don't give the hit and stick option to the Territories team. But Stacy will make an adjustment here on this hit and attempt the hit and stick to take one, tie the game up.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're working this one.
Yes, all the way.
Maybe just a hair less weight, but I think the sweepers have this one under control. Slight flop back to the inside won't hurt them at all.
Good shot.
There you go.
1 point for Northwest Territories.
I said one blue, yep.
Oh, okay.
It's all good.
Yes, we're
I was
good.
just about to kick it.
All right. Sorting out a little scoring moment here, so we'll just take a brief, break here after
Yes.
the fourth end, and we'll update everyone with the other game scores once we return after a couple-minute break.
When I grow up, I want to be a superhero. I want to be a firefighter. I want to graduate university. I don't know what I want to be. I want to be an archaeologist. I want to be a scientist. Pilot, coach, carpenter. I'm going to be a curling champion.
Kids dream big. Your support will help them realize their dreams on and off the ice.
I learned to curl when I was 13. I remember how excited I was to go to the club. It always felt special. Because of the game, because it was a place where it didn't matter your age or background. I've visited clubs right across this country, in small towns and in big. It's always the same feeling. The feeling that you're at the heart of a community. Because a curling club is a community. A community of millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast, where thousands of children get their start, where veterans, Olympians, Paralympians, and youth battle for glory, 1 weekend at a time, where local really means down the street and around the bend. And the positive effect on Canada is not only economic, but social and cultural. Curling always felt special to me, because it is special.
In 1,000 curling clubs across this country, curling invites Canadians to connect and inspires communities to grow. Pride, community, growth. Let's grow together. Invest in the sport and community that you love. Donate today.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back to watching our feature game, which is Northwest Territories versus Alberta, the women's teams. Before we get back to that game, we'd like to give you an update of the scores for the other games. On Ice 1, we have British Columbia leading Saskatchewan 7-3. That's the women's game. On Ice 2, we have British Columbia versus Saskatchewan, and that's the men's game. And that score is 3-1 for British Columbia.
Okay, and just a quick update here in our feature match. The call here is for a tight center guard from Stacy, the Northwest Territories skip. Over on sheet 4, we have Alberta and New Brunswick on the men's side. And just noticed the sweeper's blocking the score on that one, so we'll skip over to sheet 5 right now. It's 3-2 for Northern Ontario ladies over Nunavut on sheet 5. Sheet 6 is Newfoundland and Nunavut on the men's side, and Newfoundland is still ahead 6-1 in that game. And on our sheet, the Stone slipped into the top of the 12 here, so Alberta's just going to play a straightforward hit, having hammer. Yes, next door on sheet 4, Alberta men over New Brunswick is 7-1 for Alberta at the moment. So struggling a little bit with the weight here, maybe on our feature game.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
You don't have
keen
hammer.
ice.
Yeah, if you don't have hammer, you definitely want that rock to be somewhere in the free guard zone. So our viewers at home, well, we may be headed down a straightforward blank or relatively open end here. Unless somebody has a rollout or a miss, we may just play them up and down the sheet, not sure.
None of the games this morning have an awful lot of rocks out in front of the house. So we haven't seen much of the 4 rock rule being put into play.
You know, maybe they're out here making a case for a change to the 5 rock rule. I don't know, but you know, the weather outside today is a bit warmer, so I'm not sure if that's caused some issues with frost development or not. This is the first game of the day, so I would doubt it. I would expect maybe later this afternoon we might have a bit more of a challenge with that for the ice team. But anyway, the hit here was made by the Northwest Territories, hit and stick. So.
87, is that?
Oh, wait a second. What happened?
I got a 9. I don't think we have to go.
Where are we?
No one's coming.
I'm sorry, folks. I wasn't paying attention, but now Alberta is drawing to lie 2 here, so we must have had a miss on the Northwest Territories Stone.
Go, 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 go.
Go.
Yep, go.
It's a nicely placed rock.
You know, I've made that mistake as a fan at different events watching Briar games, missing a great shot on the sheet I was supposed to be watching, and unfortunately as a commentator here, my first commentating duty, it looks like I really missed a key shot there a moment ago. But anyway, nonetheless, Alberta's lying 2, and
it's just like curling, Scott. We'll forgive you.
Northwest Territories making a hit here on shot Stone in the 8-foot.
Yeah, looks good.
Working this one, keeping it on the nose.
Good throw, Joe.
Well, it looks like, folks, we may have our first final.
Normal.
On sheet 6, it looks like Newfoundland has finished that game against Nunavut. On the men's side, make the final 10-1 over there on sheet 6.
My fault.
Well, the hit and roll out there gives a bit of a break back to the Territories team here, and Stacy's going to call for the hit and stick, I believe. Now, this rock may still be biting in the top of the house after this is finished.
Some more. Good job. Yeah.
Jill delivers a control weight hit here.
Yeah. Right up. All the way.
Team sweeping this one. Looks fine.
Clean.
It's a nice hit.
Good sweep. Throw, Jill.
A nice hit and stick.
Mm-hmm. Just biting.
Stop.
This is Kendra's second rock for this end.
Normal weight coming here on our feature game. Must admit I'm sneaking a peek over to sheet 4. Skip Stone here trying to make a double for Team Alberta on the men's side, and made quite a shot. So we'll update that game here in just a moment, but great double by the Alberta skip. Scored at least 2 that end. Putting more pressure on New Brunswick. Alberta was already leading that game 7-1, and looks like possibly they may have scored another pair. So the hit and roll out there gives Northwest Territories a chance to, well, almost start over again, don't they? They can throw up this center guard, I would believe would be the call. Attempt to force the issue a little bit here. Oh, they're going top 4.
If you need it, yeah, go. Yep. Yep, if you need it, go. Yep. Hard. Yep, go all the way, guys. Go all the way. Looks good, looks good. Guys. Good sweep. You're good. Clean. You're good. Clean it in. Nice sweep, guys. Good sweep, guys. Throw, Krista.
Well, you know, it's not too early. I guess at this point they may be thinking maybe put a little more pressure on in 6 and force the issue, maybe steal a point in 6, play this end out here and force Alberta to score in 7 and come home in 8 with a hammer. I mean, at the later stages of the game, teams start to think about when they want to score. And
yes, exactly.
that second to last end is an end you really want to score in if you can.
No,
if
we're
the game's
good.
close,
We're
and
good.
we've got a real
We're
close
good.
game here, 2-2 between team from Yellowknife and Lethbridge. So that was a score of 2 for the Alberta men versus New Brunswick, and we've got our second final of the morning here. Alberta wins that game 9-1 over New Brunswick on the men's side. We've still got 4 games in action here, and we'll keep you up to date as we can.
Whoa! No!
Call here for a hit, and
No.
well, this one needs to curl.
Sorry, guys. No.
Got enough of it,
Okay.
though. Got enough
Sorry,
to
guys.
get it
Good
out.
enough.
But she would have liked to have stayed.
Absolutely. Now Alberta's going to go out to the wings here.
4 still all the way over here.
Question here on the weight, and verifying with the front end what the speed they want here. Samantha's delivering this draw.
A little more. Shoot.
She thinks it has a little more weight than her previous one, which is not really what they wanted.
Well, the sweepers are not touching this one, and
Should be
I
good.
think they're going to be all right. It's going to stop.
Control. Just here? Yeah, just right beside it, yeah.
Northwest Territories will attempt to take this out.
Pull the Kendra.
Control. Stick it. We can move it to a different spot. That's good. Roll in if we can. Roll in if we can.
Just, you know.
Just make sure we get it and stick around somewhere.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's too bad I just didn't get Kendra enough ice on hers.
Clean it. Stop. Clean it. Yes. Yep. Yes. Yes.
The front end here for the Territories working the brooms.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to be
Okay, whoa,
fine.
whoa, whoa.
No
Yep,
sit, slight
yep.
flop inside.
Okay, watch
Right
the roll,
over,
Allie. Good job.
That's a great shot there for Stacy. Mission accomplished.
Over on sheet 5,
Sorry, making
Northern
drag.
Ontario, I believe, just scored 3, which will make that 6-2 against Nunavut.
Yeah. I think that's all they can ask for. Yeah.
We have a very close game on sheet 2 with the score 3-2. And that's 3-2 British Columbia versus Saskatchewan for the men.
Here on our feature game, Nanette Dupont has delivered the hit. She will attempt to hit this stone. Probably
right up,
stick there. It's going to just flop a hair to the outside. It's a good shot.
It's a good shot.
Same ice? Yeah.
I think maybe if you're Stacy and the team from Northwest Territories, you want to stick around here if you can.
Yes.
Roll to center.
Maybe flop it a hair to the outside.
At least Alberta has to take it out and roll if they wish to blank it.
Yeah.
If the Territories do go out with this rock, then Alberta is likely to just throw it away and go for the blank.
Clean it, yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do have to apologize. It looks like the game on sheet 6, although the score is 10-1, is not in fact over. It looks like the gentleman maybe took just a bit of a break after the fourth end, and they're back out there. Nunavut with hammer. So I apologize to the fans on that side. So may have called the final prematurely there, but I thought the fellas had all left the ice and shook. But they're going to put the rally caps on, and they're going to go another end.
Keep it going.
Hope to do some scoring on their side. So we had the hit and stick here from Stacy and Northwest Territories. So now Nanette, I believe, is going to want to keep this hammer for end number 6, and call here would be to hit and roll out one way or the other.
Whoa.
Solid normalish kind of weight here on this one. But if they don't, I don't know, that's going to stick.
Yeah, it looks like it might.
This is not going to roll out for them. So,
which is not what she wanted. So now Alberta will have the lead with 1 point, but the hammer goes to Northwest Territories. And in N6, you know, you always like to have the hammer in the even ends, so that is a bit of an advantage for the Territories.
Yeah, so I guess the call there was they were hoping to cross the face for Nanette Dupont and her team and make the blank on the on that side, but
there's a spot there where it will if you.
You're talking about a bit of a spot on the ice, and that may be possible, but overall, I think the players have been pretty happy with the ice here at the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club, and Will Middleton and his team. I even saw Alec McKinney in here, and if anybody knows anything about the One Sheet Curling Club out near Elgin, called the Looney Curling Club, this gentleman Alec is a talented ice maker in his own right, and I think he's come in to give a little assistance to Will on some of these long days with 4 draws a day. That makes it pretty tough on an ice maker.
It does,
so
yes.
I think Will's had a little bit of assistance, and I've been to Alec's Curling Club, the Looney Curling Club, and it's quite a place. In fact, we took a bunch of visiting Scottish curlers there the last couple of years, and they quite enjoyed
thoroughly
themselves.
enjoyed it, yes.
He does have a website, so if any of our viewers are curious, they can Google up the Looney Curling Club and get a little bit more information.
Pretty good. Line's really good. Yep. Line's nice, guys. Line's really good. Yep.
So again,
we're trying for a draw.
Yep.
And behind that Alberta guard, which is pretty high up, but.
Yep.
Another apology to the fans of Alberta and New Brunswick. Scores 9-1, but the game continues. That is not over. They did exactly what the team on sheet 6 did, was they left the ice briefly and still at it. So my apologies.
Line's pretty good.
Once I saw the ice maker out there with the broom and stuff, I just assumed game was over, but game continues.
Line's really good.
And good for them. I mean, even if the game's not going your way so far, there are 4 ends left. And
Line's great.
You get a big end or two and some
well,
steals.
especially with the 4 rock rule, it doesn't take much to, as you say, score 3 or 4.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, viewers, in our feature game here, it looks like we're in for an interesting end here.
Yes.
We've actually got 3 rocks out front. In fact, the first 3 rocks at the end
yes, are
still
out
in play
front.
out front. So
you're witnessing the 4-rock rule.
That's right. And obviously, if you're Alberta and you realize you don't have the hammer, you're probably doing everything you can to steal this end by putting the stuff up front. And then by that way forcing the Territories team to use their hammer in 7 and come home with the hammer in 8 would be the Alberta team thinking. And obviously the flip side for Stacy and the team from Yellowknife, they want to score here, hopefully score at least 2. But right now Alberta and Nanette calling for the tap to raise this Yellowstone in.
It looks like a nice setup for Alberta.
Yeah, I would say at the moment, obviously 4 rocks clustered near the center in the free guard zone and playing a tap on one of your own. Alberta's probably got to be fairly pleased with how this is looking at the moment, but this one here seems to have a fair bit of weight. Needs to curl.
Yes.
You know, maybe they actually need to look at a split option here at the moment because it's certainly not curling enough.
That's actually a nice shot.
Yeah. Maybe a good plan B or plan C there. But nonetheless, the middle is now opened up for Jill here, throwing her first stone of the all-important 6th end here with a chance to come around top 4.
Go, Ellie. Go, Ellie. Room. Top 12. Room. Lots of room. T-line. Lots of room.
Sweepers are happy with the weight.
Only
just,
at the end.
threw the watch on it here and hog to hog. That's just about 14 seconds. So
where are you? Top 8.
Weight's perfect to tee.
Yeah,
just needed to curl.
Go right.
It's a lovely shot.
Okay.
It's in there.
It is open, mind you, which means Alberta will try and take this out and potentially get a roll in behind the other stones out front.
It's a really key shot this end, you know, if Kendra and Alberta can make this shot, make it well. This one indication is maybe a bit wide, a bit heavy.
No.
It's one of those stones I think you gotta throw it to the sweepers and let them control the line on it, so you make that roll.
Yes. Do you want to go here or here?
Oh.
Do you want to go here or do you want to go around?
I think you gotta go around the center.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think even if you freeze one perfect over on the wing, I think I know where Alberta's going, and that's right around to the 4-foot.
You don't want to give your opposition the opportunity to go to the 4-foot when you've had it first.
A little more.
Team Howard, and I'm pretty sure Wayne Madaw's been quoted many times as first to the pin, first to win. So, you know, if the Territories here can, and Jill and Stacy and the squad can make, oh, this one's heavy.
A little hot.
Oh boy.
It's too bad it had lovely line.
Okay.
Well, that's a missed opportunity there. Now things just seem to get worse with the yellow stones in the house. If Alberta can make this shot, top 4, boy,
95-4.
Territories will be under some pressure then.
Yes, they certainly will.
You'd like to hope that the jitters aren't part of the equation, but I can tell you from some experience that you know, some of these shots, the thrower knows very well it's in a key shot in the end, and you know, this one here seems to have nice weight. It needs to curl though. It's really not bearing at this point, but it might finish hard. Perfect weight, just
still pretty wide open.
Yeah. You may have an inch or inch and a half of it tucked, but yeah, pretty open for the most part with a nice soft weight.
Sorry? Do you have air? Edge on edge?
I think a great chance here for a soft back line, hack weight.
Hit it and then roll over.
See if we can get to the inside of it. If you roll this way, that's fine. Okay. If it hangs.
Stacy's calling for a hit on the inside of that yellow stone so that they could roll over again and then be buried.
Get close.
Well, this one is well out there. It needs to curl. The weight's close.
Curl.
Waiting for it to curl. I think they've got to change their mind here and go for the roll now.
It's rolling over.
Oh,
It's all right. It's good, Krista.
It's still shot stone.
Yes.
Decision time for Alberta now. How aggressive do you want to be? Do you want to hit that one, which is what the call is? Some teams might be tempted to
Draw
go right
in.
into the four there. But this is maybe a bit of a scoreboard call, I suppose.
Well, and this is what makes the game of curling so interesting, because there isn't always just one shot that can be called. And whatever is called could be right for that team.
Well, Samantha with a nice clean hit,
Oh,
and,
and a
now
nice
she's
roll.
rolled. Now
Except it's behind the tee line, which is not ideal because
not
the
bad.
territories can draw up to it.
Same thing.
well, you know, the
Same way.
anything in the 4 foot, top 4 foot area, even if it's not buried now, of course, you've got the jam in play with that
Yes.
Alberta Stone back 4. So this is a really key shot, and
Close. Close. Yes.
playing it, playing a
Yes.
hit.
Yes.
They're really sweeping this one to get it by. I think they've got it by. Oh, really unfortunate there.
Good throw, Krista. Sorry.
Tough. Boy, oh boy.
Yes.
That's why we call it the game of inches.
Good sweep, guys.
And I threw a 4 on mine.
Yeah.
And they pounded
You know,
it.
that
So I think you're good with a 410 for sure.
that's tough for the Territories team, and I mean, Alberta obviously now, they're already lying 4. And chance to throw one in, I would imagine. Call will be kind of top 12 maybe, even just tight to the house.
Yes. Will make it difficult for the territories to get in there to score anything more than one.
A little surprised
Just
there
not
that the
too
call
deep,
on that
because I
last
don't
shot
want it
maybe
too
wasn't
deep,
to
but if
draw.
you know, unless I
Again,
can
though,
bury
it's
a
a
half of it,
it's a team
At least I
preference,
don't want her
and
to
it's
hit
no right or
roll.
wrong shot.
That's right.
So, quick update on sheet 6. It doesn't look like things are improving much over there for, unfortunately, Team Nunavut. Newfoundland's added another single, a steal of 1, and now leads that game 11-1 on the men's side versus Nunavut.
Line's great, all you guys.
On our feature game, we have Nanette's first shot coming down, calling for it to be
Right
in
up.
the top 8.
Right up, go.
They got to go on this one. This one's going to
Right
be
up,
about
right up, right up.
tight
go.
guard, I think.
Tight, tight,
Yes,
tight.
it's
Go,
not
go,
going
go,
to be
go,
in the
go.
house,
Good
Still,
sweep.
though.
but it's still a good stone.
But I think there's still a huge opportunity here. Yeah, Stacy's going to just draw in there, and well, we know with the right weight this rock will finish, and
She could sit right on it.
I think, well, she could do that, or she could certainly put her stone anywhere in the 4 foot where it's going to be tough for Alberta to get it out without jamming. I think it would go hard enough. She might even be able to curl to get a piece of the button here
Yes,
if she
yes.
wanted, but anything in that top left quadrant of the 4 foot would be a great shot. Shot would be obviously important. You need to be shot, or else you may see Alberta just throw a guard and say, what do you do now?
Yes, exactly.
Fight the 8.
As a
it's a-
skip, we always like to throw guards.
A little early yet, but folks at home might notice the angles, blue, blue, yellow, are pretty straightforward. Nothing in the way at the moment.
Line's
Who knows,
good,
that
yeah.
may
How's the
play a
weight?
role later in the end.
Yep. You got room. You got room.
It's got a curl here, maybe a bit heavy.
Make sure it's full. Yep. Hitting T-line. Yep. Yep. Go.
I think the weight's fine. I think it's
It isn't curling enough for her.
no, the weight's there. It's all about the curl.
Whoa.
It's in there.
Second
spot.
shot, but
I think it's going to disappear
wide
here.
open, yes.
I think Nanette's going to throw a soft hit here and try to hit it and roll in, and
Yeah, that's what she's indicating.
Okay.
don't you?
Yeah.
Control anyway.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
On sheet 1, the score is 9 for British Columbia versus 3 for Saskatchewan. That's the women's game. And on sheet 2, we have a very close game. The score is tied between BC and Saskatchewan men.
It's a key shot here, you know. Nanette and Team Alberta can really make life difficult here for Stacy and the team from Yellowknife. This rock is fully open. She can see daylight plus probably 4 inches. So just throw the right weight on the
and
broom
let the sweepers take it.
Seems to be good.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Trying to get a little curl to get the roll here.
It's a lovely shot.
Touch of a roll, so this makes it tricky for Stacy and the team from Yellowknife.
Draw. Want to draw? Yeah.
She's just going to attempt a draw right to the 4-foot to outcount those 2 Alberta stones.
So she's cut the ice back a little bit here, and the weight last time was nearly perfect to the tee. Just perhaps had just a tinge too much ice. And
if we can get to the nose of that, we should be shot. Just to touch it back a bit.
A well-played end here from Alberta, really.
Yes.
More,
if they can leave the territories with just 1 point, that is really the purpose of defending against having last rock.
Well, I tell you, when this end started, I don't think Stacy and the team from Yellowknife wanted to be facing a draw against 5 in the 6th end for their skipper. You know, the team feels pressure on this shot. This has got lots of weight, so it really needs to curl. It's well clear of the guard.
No!
It really needs to curl.
Never.
It's going to be a steal at 2.
Steal at 2. Yes.
So Team Alberta feels good about that in the 6th end, stealing 2.
Yellow.
So the score is now 5 for Alberta, 2 for Northwest Territories.
I didn't know what it looked like, but did you like the hit?
Blue on both sides. I'm not sure what's happening.
So an update from Sheet 5 with the Northern Ontario ladies versus Nunavut. It's 6-2. Play continues now for them. We have next door an update here in a moment once they put the score up. It's 9-2 for Alberta, New Brunswick.
But you threw on your second one
through 5. And the Northern Ontario ladies Nunavut game is
gotta be in.
Still in the 5th end.
And
it's 6-2 for Northern Ontario. So we see a tight guard, actually in the house call from Alberta, which makes sense, seeing how they're up with 3-point advantage playing the 7th.
Right to tee if you can.
It's funny how our feature game seems to be ahead of all the other games.
Yes.
It's not often that way when you have a televised.
Perhaps they've forgotten that they're being televised.
I think some of those clean, straightforward ends early on really, you'll see that at the top level when the teams are on the clock. They'll play straightforward ends, bank some time so they can get into some interesting ends later in the game. The time's not really an issue here, it looks like, for any of the teams so far at the Travelers.
T-line.
There's just some fantastic curling shots being made out there, I can tell you, and the fans here in Kingston that have shown up to watch in person are, well, they're seeing all the games. So we're doing our best to try to bring you action from around the feature game here on Sheet 3.
Okay.
So now if you're Northern Territories, Northwest Territories, you've got to put a little pressure on here if you can and
try and
get a
score
deuce.
at least 2.
Whoa.
Yes.
Get a deuce here and take a chance in the last end to
perhaps steal 1 coming home, which then would put us into an extra end if that happens, if it's tied up, the end of 8.
This is all right. Same weight. Same weight. You come to here, that's okay.
Now this Alberta ladies team here, worth mentioning, a few years ago in Ottawa in the 2015 Travelers Championships. So they were the bronze medal team. So there are no newcomers to this level of competition, and maybe after a taste of the podium, they've got a little something higher sights on their mind. But so
I
far,
believe this is their third visit to the Travelers Curling Club Championship.
Good sweep, guys. Good call.
Yeah, it is interesting. Avis and Samantha, the vice and lead on that team, have curled together off and on for about 20 years. They were both talking about starting curling when they were quite young, and know each other quite well. Very good friends. And you know, as part of the team process, the team likes to get together at least monthly for a bit of a social meet up, dinner out or something. And when push comes to shove in these competitions, you know, that team chemistry really becomes important because
it does. You sometimes need a lot of support from your team members if you happen to be having a game where you're struggling.
Well, you see that with the great teams. You know, somebody will have an unfortunate miss, and then right behind them, you know, their teammate will make just a pistol
shot.
Just a pistol to make up for it. And
this one?
The great teams seem to be able to do those things. And
Just threw it twice.
I've noticed over the years with teams I've either been on or played against that sometimes talent's part of the equation, but a great team chemistry will take a team a lot further.
It certainly will.
You could put the 4 best curlers together on the same team, and boy, oh boy, would it be a long game with everybody calling their own ice. Anyway, back to our game here. The attempted come around here for Northwest Territories.
It looks a bit light.
Yeah, as far as
I could be wrong, but
Jill Andrews is throwing this one, and it's just a hair light, but still may be a useful rock for the Territories later in the end. It's definitely
what do you like?
got a chance to be a useful corner for them.
You like that?
Okay. Let's make it.
We can do that.
So the score's been updated on sheet 5. So after the 5th end now, Northern Ontario ladies lead Nunavut ladies 7-2. Nunavut will have the hammer in end number 6.
Okay, this is fine.
This one?
Still a very close game on ice 2 against BC and Saskatchewan.
Okay, let's make it.
Score is tied 3-3.
Yeah, there's been some great shots next door on sheet 2. I've peeked over the odd time because it's right next door to us, and the gentlemen are putting on a great show for the fans that are downstairs watching that game. Likely at the conclusion of our game, because we're a bit ahead of them, we'll be
switching
following over to see what's happening with the BC Saskatchewan men's game.
Alberta on our featured game is now sitting 4.
You know, at this point, I think Stacy is not as concerned with how many of their stones are in the rings, to be fair. The front's open. If she can make a nice freeze here and put a stone in there on the button, Jill Andrews delivering here now, that'll put the pressure on Alberta. The stones may end up hurting Alberta a little bit that are in the house.
That's true, yes.
Whoa, you got round.
This looks like a great shot. If the weight's there, the curl should be good.
Starting to curl now.
Well, this looks like a great shot. It's all up to the sweepers now.
Your line's nice. Got to come a bit. Do it.
It's a lovely shot.
Good judge, guys.
Now.
Okay, that's good, Jill. Nice throw.
That's what they wanted for team from Yellowknife. Great shot from Jill Andrews.
Could be difficult for Alberta to get that out cleanly.
Yeah, I'd say extremely.
You just get to nose.
Yeah.
Now you can try this here to get to nose, but another thing would just be to throw high side and just throw normal weight and high side that stone, and you might lose your back yellow, but boy, trying to hit this on the nose is tricky. If it ever racks on that front yellow. Oh, and they got her by. Great sweeping from the team from Alberta. There was a real risk to that shot.
Yes,
you know.
there was.
All of a sudden you rack on that front one, and boy, you're going to be staring down 2 blue right in the forefoot with a stone behind him.
Go again, or do you want
A great shot from Samantha there and Team Alberta. Well swept.
If we make it, it's good.
Avis and Kendra had the brooms down on that one to make sure.
Yes, they did.
The draw.
Great sweeping from the ladies too, you know, to be honest. You know, I think, you know, to the point of even forcing rule changes on broomhead material, I think the sweeping in the game of curling has really developed light years. No offense to the rink rat type fans and the old corn brooms that used to go slapping down the ice at the Briar. I mean, these push brooms have really, really taken sweeping to a whole other level. This stone here needs to slow down and curl.
Okay.
Just a touch heavy, but it is shot stone for the moment.
Wide open, though, for Alberta.
Yeah, the last hit was tougher, but you can never fall asleep on these shots, you know. It's a great thing about curling, you know, is the mental focus that it takes. It's individual with the thrower, but it's team with the sweepers and the line call. Right. So really is the best of an individual and a team sport.
Hard. Ah.
Oh, another lovely shot.
So they make the hit and stick, but I tell you, the forefoot's getting pretty junked up here, and this really really works to Stacy's advantage. You know, if she can get in there, freeze or a hair of a tap, it's going to be a pretty good yellow wall back there to keep Alberta from removing any of those Northwest Territory stones. So Krista delivering this stone here, her first of the all-important 7th end, and the sweepers are watching this one. It's needing to curl,
I think
but it's
needs to curl.
It's off the guard now. It's fine. It's just about weight. You know, a hair tap here is not bad, but they don't want to tap it too much. Closer to frozen's better.
That's good, Krista.
It's an excellent shot. Over on sheet 2, we have British Columbia has scored 2 more. So the score is 5-3 for British Columbia over Saskatchewan. And that's the men's team playing. Very close game.
Okay, now I see the X's on the board, so I feel like I can make it official now on sheet 6. My apologies again earlier. The final now, Newfoundland over Nunavut on the men's side, 11-2. And that is a final, folks. I think once those X's go up, that's it, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I will not make that mistake again. The next door, Northern Ontario ladies are just, you know, finishing up against Nunavut on the ladies' side here, play in the 6th end. So it's still 7-2 after 5 for Northern Ontario.
Gotta wait.
So an important shot here for Nanette Dupont and the Alberta team. They want to hit this one, and it actually looks like it's going to roll.
May roll out.
Yeah, and I have a feeling she would have preferred just to nose that and block off this next shot here that Stacy's going to throw.
Doesn't really come at all, hey?
Stacy's going to try and draw up to that Alberta stone that's in the back of the forefoot.
You know, if she can make this shot good here, you know, Alberta may have no choice but to try to freeze themselves. And of course, if you don't make that perfect, then perhaps Stacy will have a way to squeeze the Alberta stone out and
score
that too.
I think Stacy and the team would be very happy if that was the result for this end. They've been facing an awful lot of Alberta stones.
Line's nice. You got room.
Looks like the sweepers are fairly comfortable with the weight here. I think they need to just keep it clean.
Just let it work. Let it work.
Line looks good to me.
Yes, it does look good because it will curl.
I'm always a little paranoid with these important draws about not having a broom down just to dust at least, you know. Least thing you can afford here is a pick. Now that's in a pretty good spot.
Yes. I just kicked this one.
I would say if you're Alberta, it's pretty risky to try to get rid of that one. I think that's the shot.
Yes.
Just
she's
try to sit on top.
it just comes back into that. Right?
I mean, it's tough, you know. You're up by 3.
Yeah.
Your gut's telling you,
Yes.
and screaming at you, probably get that rock out of there. But sometimes finesse might be the better part of the aggressive hit here. And that's where it comes down to, you know, the skip. They've got to have all the shots. You know, they've got to be able to draw. They've got to be able to throw the hit, the soft hit.
Do you see where she had the broom for her draw?
That's one of the concerns, quite frankly, I have about this movement, especially at the club curling level, to a 5-rock rule is kind of a player development standpoint in the game. I mean, already your leads very rarely throw hits anymore.
Yes, that's right.
All of a sudden we go to a 5-rock rule, and
now you've got the seconds who would very rarely be throwing a hit.
And I tell you, having a vice that can clean things up, even a second that can peel and hit, kind of makes me wonder where these people are going to come from if they're never throwing any hits until they graduate to a second or vice position. Things could get kind of ugly.
They could, yes. Lots of rocks in play with nothing moving.
Good.
So, I mean, obviously we don't have this problem at national levels, world levels.
Right to it, let's go!
But from a player development standpoint, I'm
Come on, girls, go!
not convinced that
Right
moving
to it, go!
club curlers to a 5-rock
You got it,
system
all the
is
way,
going to
all the way, go! All the way, go! You got it, go, go,
be the right
go,
move
go,
for the
go.
game overall. So this rock comes in very nicely.
Good sweep, guys.
It's a beautiful rock.
Is it shot?
But she's not shot rock. I don't believe. No, she's not.
Oh,
Boy, I think...
I don't think. I should be careful.
You know, I think there's definitely a shot for 2 here. Even if yellow is shot, she might be able to just squeeze that through the opening, and if her shooter doesn't roll too far, she might be able to pick up the deuce. But to draw around this one without rubbing it,
that would be a very difficult
and
shot.
I think that's the call here. I think they're very comfortable. That blue at the moment is shot.
Can we come this way for here, though? No.
I think that other angle we had there, you could actually see that if you just squeeze that yellow through that opening,
I don't really like this shot.
There's the shot, I think.
Yes.
What else do we have, though? I don't know.
I don't know, though, if your shooter rolls in to count the second point, it would be tough.
Okay.
You know, Alberta's put that stone in a perfect spot
Could it be like yours
to make
and stay
life
straight?
really difficult.
Okay.
But
So
you know,
it looks like the draw is the
Play it
call.
close to the guard and yeah, don't be cute. No.
this is tough because as that
It
weight
is.
comes off, it's going to start to curl so much more. So
We think so. We think we're shot. We basically have to draw to the side of the pin for the second point.
if
we can't touch the
I
yellow.
gotta say, if I wasn't
can't touch
convinced
the
I was
yellow at
shot,
all.
I think I'd be leaning
So
towards
basically we have to draw
the
to
tap on an
to the
angle
side of the pin.
because this draw is no
wanna call a
cakewalk
timeout?
either.
No, it isn't.
This would be a good move, I think, here to call timeout and
like
talk
that?
this over as a team. This is a key shot this
Throwing it away.
game.
This is the first
Yeah. Do you
timeout
wanna
that's been
call a
called
timeout?
for this game.
Sure.
I think they've called the timeout, and I think that's the right
Is
move.
that our timers back there?
The audience is
Yeah,
clapping.
we have a
suggesting that might be
handshake,
the right
so
move.
that's a final. I make it Alberta men over New Brunswick, and they're just posting the final score now. But Alberta has won that game on sheet 4 next to our feature game. So the Alberta men finished off 10-2 final. It looks like on sheet 4.
It's hard to tell because
Our second final of the draw,
It's
so-
not the line, like the center line is where our rock is, so it's
Well, they're having a look at
clouding my
this. I'm
judgment.
not going to say I predicted anything, but
Draw edge of the pin.
I got to tell you, if
Or throw it away, I think.
I don't know. That draw to get past the guard on the left there at the front, and then that yellow, if you just rub it a bit,
Playing it tight to this.
Yes.
that
It's
is
going
tough.
to,
I like
it would
playing
knock
it tight
it in.
to this because it's straight.
And what if yellow's
I'm just
shot?
worried that if you come
Like,
through with any
well,
kind of way,
like
you
that's
capture
I think
it
the
all
other
as
part of
shot.
this is I don't know if
Do you
they're
know what I
100%
mean? Like-
convinced on who's actually
Well,
shot
unless
here.
I
you
don't
hit
think
it,
they
that's
are
what I-
because that's
but
been
you
part
have
of the
to hit
I
discussion.
think
this
Jill in the lead and I are on the
side,
same
for
page
sure.
there.
But
Or,
then you're
yeah,
rolling
Jill,
out.
the
Like,
second,
yeah.
Jill Andrews. She's
Yeah.
looking at the tap
I don't
through,
like
and
hitting it. Okay.
she doesn't.
If we
Okay,
think we're
well,
shot, I don't
you
like
got to go
hitting
with
it.
the shot.
Okay.
Skip
It's
likes,
close.
and
That's my only concern.
she's
it's
not
really
convinced
obvious.
who's shot.
No, what do you think, Jill?
Stacy thinks that they are shot, and that's why
I don't
she
think she's
doesn't-
sure.
Like I think it's good, but I mean, I just don't want to play it and then measure and then.
At least the
I
other
think
thing
it's
about the
blue. I think
tap
the
is
pin's at the
you
back
get
of
at
the
least
tee
one,
line.
True enough.
right? Like even if you don't make it
I
perfect
think
to get
it's
the
blue.
deuce,
Well, then let's try it then. Okay.
you know, you're gonna get the one. Game's not
Yeah, I don't
over.
think-
It's
I don't think
5-3.
if we hit that, we're
You
going
can
to
steal
stick
two.
around for two. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
You got this. Yeah. I like playing it tight to the guard.
But the
If you
skip's
hit
got
the
to throw
guard,
it. So
That's right.
you know, at the
It's
end of
what
the
she
day,
feels
whoever's
comfortable
throwing
with.
it is.
It's hard. It's like after
Well,
they
I think
said, like,
we've
they-
got the
they probably
videotape
play
rolling
off
because
eight,
if
I'm,
she
like,
makes this
second
shot
guessing
here,
everything 'cause I'm looking
this
at
is
it,
an
like, oh,
outstanding
us.
curling shot
But
to
if
draw
it, like, brings
in
back all,
to the button
we're now gonna give you another
And score
point,
two.
with
right?
that
Like,
blue
that's
guard
the-
and that other rock lurking, shall we say, at the top of the forefoot, just waiting
She wants
to
throw it,
have.
so that's okay.
The blue guard is not helping her.
No, it is not. If that blue guard wasn't there, the shook, it's a whole lot easier. But here we go.
Line's nice. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
This could be the shot of the game.
Now the sweepers feel like it's heavy, the indication initially.
We're not even by that. Where
I
are
think
you?
it's going to
Yep.
move now.
Oh,
They're
yes,
by it.
yeah. They're past the guard.
I think they've left this too long now. It's on the yellow.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
okay, whoa, whoa,
close.
whoa.
Oh,
That's exactly what I said.
oh
And
boy.
they
Now,
may
if
have
yellow
knocked
wasn't shot
Alberta.
before, I think it is now.
Shoot.
That was a tough shot. Doesn't get any easier too the longer you look at it. And
No.
the discussion that ensues, it's tough, you know.
So the score now is Alberta 6, Northwest Territories 2. Makes that very
Yeah.
difficult for the last end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sheet next door over on sheet 1 earlier in the game with Hammer, team scored 5. I mean, you know, things can happen.
Yes.
Obviously, Alberta is going to not throw a guard here. I would expect to see this rock go cruising through the
Through
rings.
the house.
They will do everything they can to just hit and eliminate stones. Another final on sheet 5, the Northern Ontario ladies over Nunavut, 8-2. So 3 games in action, all on sheets 1, 2, and 3 at the moment.
Still a very close game on sheet 2.
You know, that last shot from Stacy, I mean, that was a tough shot, and you know, obviously didn't work out for them, but
Well,
it was
I mean, I
pretty
just
close.
thought if we
It
had
was
one's better.
very close.
Just rubbed a little.
Yeah, out
and,
front. Nothing in.
I haven't seen all the great shots of this championship
We need
yet,
our
but if
guards.
she'd have made that one for 2, that would have been one to
It certainly
remember.
You got it.
But all's not over here for Northwest Territories and the team out of Yellowknife Curling Club.
Just anywhere here. Anywhere up top.
You know, when I was up there 20 years ago, there
It's
was
halfway. It's got to curl.
quite a display of the Northern Lights, and this
Oh, yes, there
Comet
would be.
Hail Bop in
Let's get Allie.
1997 was cruising through, and a combination of the Northern Lights and a comet on the night
That's
sky
good. Nice.
was breathtaking, but so was the minus 35 degrees Celsius weather. And it's a dry cold, let me
Yes,
just
oh.
put it that way. You got to drink lots of water up there in the winter, and lots of lip chap. I'm sure they sell more lip chap per capita in Yellowknife than almost any other place, unless we go further north. It's
Well, Whitehorse would be a second.
Sure,
We
you
lived in
bet.
Whitehorse, and actually that's where I started curling, was in Whitehorse as a teenager.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. In a Quonset hut, two sheets of ice, and it was natural ice. And when, as you say, with minus 35 degree weather, it was pretty tough to get that rock to the other end without using both hands.
Wow. So season length there, about what, 6 months or so? Natural ice in
Yes,
Whitehorse. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I went there, we got the chance to go out on some ice roads and to see transports driving across frozen lakes
Yes.
and stuff.
Coming down.
Much like the TV show today. It was rather interesting. And if you go ice fishing
makes
there,
me
you need
even-
about 15 feet of ice auger to bore through.
here. Whoa, whoa,
yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa. Nice, Allie.
All right,
Good
so
job, guys.
things are set up really nicely here. 2 great guards for the team from Yellowknife. So well done to Allie and a great pair of stones. Exactly what the team needs right now. They need to score, and they need every stone they can in play.
And as Scott was saying earlier, this is a good example of the types of shots that leads normally make now with the 4 rock rule.
Whoa, I
We're
don't know
looking
what's
for
happening
those-
with that one.
Now this plays into the Yellowknife team favor here. We've got a nose hit on an attempted peel, so you know you can go now.
Gotta be
you
back
do need to
house,
score
I think.
4. Another shot
least team.
might be advisable as a tight guard around the yellow to
Yes,
the top,
yeah.
because
'Cause
in
it
all
can always be
likelihood,
bumped up.
Alberta is going to be peeling. So you're going to need another guard, I'm sure, before this ends over. But anyway, this is the call to go around, make this one great, put the pressure on.
Line's good. Needs it. You got lots of room. Top 12, maybe? Yep. Got to be in, yep. Tight. Halfway. Okay.
This one's a bit light. They did want it to be in the house, but it's another guard, which could come into play later on.
Whoa.
Well, this one here, boy, this needs a curl, or we could have the nightmare for a second, which is the beak and the flash.
Yes.
That's okay.
That's tough.
Bill, here you go.
So if Team Yellowknife here needed any motivation, they've just been very fortunate from a game well curled by Alberta for the most part, with a couple of shots that didn't exactly work out for Alberta there. So there's 3 guards in play, and Yellowknife is coming around, which I expect we'll see a fair bit of. This one's curling early, so they may have to change gears here and go for a tap on this blue stone.
Yes. Looks
Gotta
like a
keep
tap.
going.
As long as they can get some separation here, I don't think the stones out front are going to hurt Yellowknife and Stacy Stable's team. But that one there maybe just a little wide, cut some fresh pebble, and just a little more weight required.
Many as we can get at once.
As many as we can get at once. I think everybody heard that at home. You know, you've got to be calm here, though. You know, having played second before, and that you can get a little over-enthusiastic, shall we say, and overthrow a stone like this. And
very easily. Yep.
Got to make sure of the one. You got to move some granite.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
Now this one's curling early as well. We may have a unfortunate nose-ish kind of hit here. Well, it's rolled enough. The middle is open, but well, we've got kind of like 4 corner guards here now.
Yes, we do. So the Territories will try and bury a rock in behind their 2 blue out front.
You know, just for folks following other games nearby, on sheet 2, we've got a real barn burner here coming into the 8th end, tied Saskatchewan and BC. And we'll keep an eye on that game as our feature game here winds down, but still a chance, great chance here with guards in play for
You're good. Line's nice.
Stacy and the team from Yellowknife to put some stones in here.
This looks like it might have a bit too much weight.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Hopefully this stops. It's got to stop.
It's either guarding or through the house. We can't get one in the rings at all. Yeah, I know. Summer would be nice.
Bit of a heartbreaker.
That's tough.
Round 2.
Right.
You know, I don't know with 3 empty sheets right next to our feature game if changing
whether
ice
that's
temperature
affecting
might
the ice.
have anything to do with this sheet here. You never like to feel like you're the only game out there, but you know, possibly the ice is
changing a bit,
changing a hair, and cause that rock to go a little far. That was Samantha here throwing a peel on her own, and she needs it to curl. Well, she got enough of it. Still 3 guards in play for Stacy and the team from Yellowknife, but
thank you.
They're running out of rocks.
Yeah, they are kind of out of rocks, aren't they? With,
we have to split something in.
They've got to split something
Pardon
in
me?
order to.
We have to split something in. Okay. Do we got any? Is there actually a split there though?
Well, that's a good question.
I don't know. This one, maybe we might get a little roll over here that we could use. That's about it. So what do you want to do? Back line?
Not a lot of great options here for them. That's what was so tough on that last shot we watched. And next door in the tied game, just to bring everybody up to date, BC is currently lying 1 on the button.
And BC has last rock.
And Saskatchewan, well, they're throwing center guards like crazy. And BC's saying, no, thank you. We're going to peel all those we can. And
so right now it's very open.
Yeah. And this is a tap attempt, and I don't know. I think that's handshakes here in our featured game. So credit to Team Alberta ladies in their first game of the Travelers Championship. They get the victory over Team Northwest Territories.
Both teams played very well. So just to follow things on sheet 2, Saskatchewan's trying to put up a guard.
And another perfect center guard by Saskatchewan. So it's a classic last end tied. Team with hammer doesn't want anything in play. Team without is saying we're going to put a bunch up there. So this is when the hitting component of the game I was talking about earlier really comes into play right from the lead, probably with tickovers, I imagine.
The Regal.
Yeah, I imagine those two blue stones that we see kind of off to the corner are the shot stones from ticks from Team BC earlier in the end, and obviously they made them well. So a peel here, he may actually get rid of, and tap that one up. That'd be a nice bonus. Oh, look at that.
That is lovely bonus.
Well done. Great shot. So the final in our featured game for those with scorebooks at home is 6-2, and that was Alberta over Northern Territories. So another
call for a guard.
Yeah, I imagine that. Throw guards almost to the bitter end here and hope for one kind of a jam or something. At some point, though, they'll have to deal with that rock that's on the button. So I can guarantee you the Saskatchewan skip's already thinking about that.
No, this one may be coming in. No, nice guard.
Yeah. Nice strategy there on these shots to move the guard around a little bit.
Yes.
Left to right. Tighter guard, longer guard, just to kind of mix up the peel for the other team a little.
You never like the opposition to have the same shot twice.
No.
They usually make it the second time.
Saskatchewan Vice made a beauty here on his first one, so he's going to try and repeat and throw a nice peel. And it looks like, by all indications, the peel is well on its way.
Excellent shot.
Yeah, if you're the Saskatchewan skip, I think in the back of your mind you're thinking, when do I come in and freeze tap on that stone? But I suspect the BC team's pretty talented with the hits, so he may want to delay that and try one more guard, see if the skip can peel. But he may decide that now's the right time to make a play. I think they're also looking at a slight off-center guard, hoping that brings a jam possibility into the rock that BC has, just biting the 8 in the top right. Probably not a bad idea. I'd like to say eventually you've got to deal with that stone inside. The risk here of throwing the guard is what if BC comes down and puts one right on top of their other blue?
Exactly.
Then you're in big trouble.
Then it's very difficult for Saskatchewan to do anything with that.
Obviously, it's been a well-curled game. If you look at the scoreboard here on sheet 2, it's a mix of singles and deuces. Obviously, a lot of great shots made.
And then on sheet 1, we still have the game going with British Columbia at 10 and Saskatchewan 4.
Well, they're going to come down and have a timeout in a team conference here, and I don't blame them one bit. This very important game, obviously, to both teams. So never a bad idea to give a talk here about the strategy, what we plan to do. So Saskatchewan in their head is saying, okay, what's this guy going to miss, right? Can we count on him to jam it if we put that guard there?
better off coming in and doing a freeze tap and hoping he somehow jams us then. And maybe then, if that happened, you know, the BC skip might be drawing against 2 yellows.
Exactly.
You know, with his last stone, and that would certainly put the pressure on.
It would. Those are not easy shots when it's the last one of the game.
You know, the great bonus on the, I'm sorry, I don't know the BC Vice's name, but his first one where he tapped that second blue into the rings.
Yes.
I mean, the skip went yes for BC when that happened, because
if they roll out, then that one will be the winning.
That's right.
Stone.
And if Saskatchewan has made a nice freeze, the BC skip could maybe have at her and
Yes.
double him out. And even if he rolls a shooter out, that other blue stone will give them the win that they obviously want. All right, so it looks like the team's arrived at a decision. It's like a good mix of experience and youth on this team.
Yes.
Often that can work in a team's favor. I mean,
absolutely.
Just add, well, Mr. Russ Howard, Olympian medalist, Mr. Howard, with the Goose Shoe Boys from Newfoundland there.
That was an interesting mix.
You know, there's
and now you see it with Glenn Howard and his son on the same team.
Yeah. Yeah, and shout out to one of our local teams here that was at the pre-trial event and lost to Glenn Howard's team in an extra end, just 2 games short of qualifying for the Olympic trials. That's Jonathan Buke, Scott Chadwick, Don Bowser, and Greg Balsden. So a great team curling this weekend down in Charlevoix area in Quebec.
They had some excellent games. I was watching some of it.
Okay, so that was an absolute peach of a freeze there from Saskatchewan skip. I don't think he could have carried it down there and put it any better.
No.
In fact, I think barring a little tube of crazy glue to glue those two together, I think they're pretty frozen.
They are.
So, you know, this is interesting for Saskatchewan because you've now forced the BC skip, I think, to throw an absolute heater down there. And the worst thing for a skip is to throw a peel than a draw. I haven't had to do it myself. Anyway, here we go.
And again, this is where that second blue stone may come into play.
Very smooth delivery. Team looks happy with it. Now will the rock go all the way? Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very well thrown stone. So now Saskatchewan, you're looking for places to hide.
Yes.
You know, and
they do have a spot.
So it looks like maybe the scenario of the peel and the draw might happen here. Saskatchewan makes this great around the corner. I think the smart call for BC would be to draw. And I think the best maybe Saskatchewan could go for is maybe just a nibble a hair of the floor here and show just a piece to BC. They showed too much, and with that bonus counter there, BC would play a hit.
Yes. And wouldn't care whether it stayed.
Now this weight call should be fairly easy for our skip from Saskatchewan. I mean, he's just throwing a perfect freeze, which was... Sweepers don't look too much in a hurry to get on this one, but now they go. I think they'd like it to curl a bit more. Needs to get off that center line and get doing some tucking around the corner, but it should finish late here for them. The weight's perfect.
Looks very good.
And it's finishing. Sweeping it
It's
hard,
past
although
the
it's
first,
yeah, it's kind of open.
It didn't curl as much as they hoped.
No, the weight was pretty close. So the skip from there it is. The ice is not much at all. Just throw a hit at that stone, make it go away. No pressure to save the shooter. So that's a fortunate tap in on the Vice's first.
Yes.
I think Skipper
Maybe
will be buying
the,
that gentleman holding the broom
winning-
right there a beer, I think, for that one. He can hit half this rock, a third of this rock, a quarter of this rock, and not have to flirt with any of those blue guards at all. And imagine the boys will keep this clean all the way down. If you got a piece, they're going to be on it, so things look good.
They do indeed.
Wow. And there it is.
Oh. Lovely shot.
Make that final 7-5 in favor of BC. Over Saskatchewan. Well curled game. And we still have our game on sheet 1 in action, and it just got a lot closer than it was because a great 4 scored in the 7th end by Saskatchewan. All of a sudden, a game that was 10-4 now becomes 10-8. So
well, and that just speaks to what we were saying earlier with the 4 rock roll. It isn't difficult to score 3 or 4 in an end.
You know, that's well done for Saskatchewan, posting that 4. I saw them take some time. Okay, well, I guess, folks, we'll have you sign off. And Deb, it's been a pleasure. Travelers Canadian Championship, sponsored by Travelers here in Kingston.
It's been a pleasure. We'll be doing it again, I'm sure.